Good morning, you all. Good morning. Welcome back to Alicia's Crafty Hoplop. It is Saturday. Y'all. Now, by now, you have likely seen the same news reports that my family and my friends back home have seen and my friends across the country have seen. So I just want to say, first of all, I'm sorry that it was relayed to you the way it was relayed in the news. We've known here for the last 2 weeks. I just wish that they hadn't, up until the last 2 weeks, they haven't really shared how dire it is here in New York. We New Yorkers were told, but I think then it was careful about how it was relayed. It was just explained that New York's a hotspot. Please don't travel to New York. If someone comes from New York, please make sure that you keep them in quarantine. But we didn't want to make everybody panicked about those of us here. And up until yesterday, it was contained. But then last night, they had a national emergency alert, which is like the alert you use for war. Not for even for tornadoes. Not like the tornado alerts I get in Florida. No, this is the one above that. It was an SOS alert because we had over 300 people die yesterday in New York from the coronavirus. And the hospital system was strained, and they finally needed to just tell the rest of the world and all of the US that our system's crumbling. There weren't enough doctors, there weren't enough nurses, there weren't enough orderlies. So they did an all call in New York begging everyone off shift to come back on shift. Anyone with medical experience to come and volunteer at the hospitals. And then they flew people in, like there was a nurse they flew in from Philadelphia, and United just offered free flights for anyone brave enough to come in here. Well, unfortunately, that also means that you guys got the news, and my family got the news, and my friends got the news. So suddenly everyone's panicked and wants me to leave New York immediately. What they don't understand is that it's too late for that. None of us can go anywhere. We were told that. We knew that 2 weeks ago. We just didn't say anything to anybody. So my poor husband is trying to strategize how to get here, and I don't want him coming. I don't want him exposed to this. I want him to stay as far away as possible. I want him to stay in a healthy zone and, not come anywhere near here. But you can imagine the panic this incited. So after I dealt with that, with friends and family, I went and took a nap. And I'm embarrassed to tell you, I didn't get up till close to 11 o'clock at night. It's true. It's all 11. So that I had to make myself some food, some dinner, because I hadn't made supper. The one thing about my illness, for good and for bad, is that I'm almost never hungry. So I have to remind myself to eat. And not eating is not healthy, especially not when you're trying to fight a pandemic. So I made myself some supper. And then, I took my own advice yesterday. Look, the numbers are staggering. Right now in New York, we have over 12 people dying an hour. That's terrifying. And the numbers, we're not yet at our apex. So they know with this virus, it hits an apex. So New York is coming close to the apex, but we're not there yet. So once you hit the apex, if you get everything right and the conditions are right, it should start to go down. But we're not quite at the apex yet. So rather than worry all night, I just follow my own advice. What did I tell you? You got to accept the things you can't change and just change the things you can. And I realized I needed to do a deeper cleaning. I told you of my place. Now, I've been very good about disinfecting. They change the rules every day here. Now I can tell you because now you actually learned yesterday what's going on here. So one day they tell us it's fine, the boxes. The next day they tell us take them out of your house immediately. Then they tell us if a package came from Amazon to clean it and take it out immediately. There's all these different rules that happen daily. So I've been following all that and disinfecting like they tell you. But then they said yesterday it also would help to do a deep clean of your house. So that's what I did last night. At 11 o'clock at night, I did a deep clean of my kitchen and the half of my living room and a deep clean of my bathroom. And today I'm going to do my art room, my office, my bedroom, and the main area where I spend most of my time. Because that's the one thing I can change. What I can change is what I can do. I'm going to do that and some crafting. And other than that, y'all, that's all we can do and hope for the best. Those of you that pray and well wish, continue to keep those of us in New York in your prayers. But the whole country. New York may have it the worst out of the whole country, but it's across the whole country. And what's going to be is going to be. But we could sure use some prayers to get through this. I feel badly for everybody. I feel badly for everybody's families. I was watching Southern scrapbooking and cards and oh boy, I just botched it. And she was talking about how she has to cancel her challenge because she doesn't want to contribute to mail or getting anyone sick. And of course we understand that. And they just got their first case, and it's making her upset. Of course it is. We understand that. It's not a comparable thing. It's not because we have something like 100,000 here with the virus. We do, by the way. That's the real number. If you didn't see the news report, I'll just be honest. So we have over 100,000 cases here. That's why we have 12 deaths an hour. It's a little insane. It's a little insane. And we don't have any masks because they need them all for the doctor. So they explained yesterday why we don't have any masks. They finally told us why. We can't get masks in New York because they don't have enough for their medical staff. So on one hand, they're telling us we need to wear a mask because it's unsafe. On the other hand, they're telling us we're not going to be able to buy them. So again, what would we have done without Sabrina? Seriously. Because they're saying wear a bandana. Well, that's not going to do any good. So thank goodness for Sabrina. Really, that's all I have to say. Because the nurses on here explained that if we put a parchment paper, if we cut a piece of parchment that we use for baking and we put it inside the mask, it acts like a filter and it's waterproof. So it's much safer. So you pair that with like anything else underneath and you've got double protection. Still, you know what they told us yesterday? Still doesn't really protect you from the virus. It only protects you a tiny little bit more. So, but when we got to take out our boxes every 5 minutes, I told you all the other day, I had 5 deliveries that came, each one came in its own box. So I had to go out 5 times outside. So thank goodness for those masks from Sabrina. I don't know what we would have done. Because to tell us that, oh, you need to wear a mask, but you're not going to get any, is like unbelievable. But then the reasoning is they don't have enough in the hospitals. So this is what it's like here, y'all. So maybe it's no wonder I fell asleep till 11 o'clock at night. I guess what I'm saying is it can be a little stressful subconsciously. But I felt much better once I did some cleaning, and I think I'm going to feel better today too, because I'm just going to clean and craft. I'm going to do my schoolwork tomorrow. I'm just going to clean and craft. And look, all we can do is make the best out of every moment we've got. You don't know what life's got for you. None of us do. None of us know what tomorrow brings. We just got to be grateful for today. And I think that's really always be my motto. It's always going to be my motto. Now, does that mean there aren't moments where I'm not scared? No, of course. I would be inhuman if I wasn't scared. But there's scared and then there's like immobilized. And the way I look at things is that I got today. I should enjoy it. And I feel grateful to have today. I do. So I'm going to craft. I'm going to clean. I'm going to live my best life today and try to convince my husband to stay the heck away from here. That's what I'm going to do. I hope whatever you're going to do, it's something that brings you joy. I am definitely going to upload some more project shares. And yeah, it's going to be a crafty weekend. And I hope the same for you. My best piece of advice to those who are just getting the cases is, 1, make sure your house is stocked with the basics so you don't have to leave. That's number 1. If there's one thing we New Yorkers can teach you, is that when this starts to climb, panic happens. Make sure you have basics at home. 2, make sure you have rubbing alcohol at home to disinfect. That's the other thing we can share with you. That's really important. And then the third thing we can tell you is to just focus on the positive. Observe social distancing. Do not go into anyone's home. Do not go into anyone's home. And wash your hands like you've never washed them before. That's the best advice we can give you. Yeah, I know it's not much, but it's what we got. All right, y'all. I wish for you a happy, crafty day. If you did see the news reports, and I know some of you did because you texted me, just remember it's been like this for weeks. I just haven't said anything. Okay? I know you only learned about it yesterday, but it's been like this for almost 2.5 weeks now. So it's not like, it's just those of us here in New York kept it quiet. And just because there was no reason to panic, everybody. So don't let the news do that to you. It's business as usual here for us. We know what we're in the middle of. We really do. But thank you. Thank you for checking it. We really appreciate it. The good news is Lanny has what she needs, which is such a good news. Her neighborhood, she was able to get what she needed. So Lanny is safe for now. And that is great news because she's my fellow Brooklyner. So I'm hoping everybody in all the boroughs has what they need in order to stay safe. Keep your distance, y'all. I'm serious. Keep your distance. And don't feel a false sense of security because you got a mask. They're telling us point blank here in New York, that mask does not save you from this virus. So please, please, even when you're wearing a mask, keep at least 6 feet. They're saying now it could be up to 27 feet here. So keep your distance from folks, okay? Try to stay home as much as you can. All right. I will be back on later with happier things like crafting and craft projects. All right, y'all. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday.